Picture a river so powerful that it could erase entire cities, yet leave their shadows perfectly preserved beneath layers of silt. Across the vast floodplains of the Yellow River Basin, archaeologists have uncovered compelling traces of late Neolithic settlements that appear to have been catastrophically inundated during the 3rd millennium BCE. These sites, sometimes evocatively described as the Nüwa Flood Cities, represent more than drowned architecture. They mark a decisive environmental turning point in early northern China. While the term references the mythic goddess Nüwa, the archaeological narrative unfolds through stratigraphy, sedimentology, and material culture rather than legend. Together, these buried cities invite us to reconsider how climate instability and hydraulic volatility shaped early complex societies. What if the ancient story of a goddess mending the sky preserves a cultural memory of rivers in revolt? Later literary traditions recount how Nüwa repaired the heavens after cosmic collapse, halting floods that devastated the world. Though these texts were compiled millennia after the Neolithic era, they may echo lived experiences of environmental catastrophe. Archaeological fieldwork across the Middle Yellow River Basin reveals thick, high-energy flood deposits overlaying intact habitation layers. Radiocarbon dates consistently place these flood events within the late 3rd millennium BCE, aligning with broader paleoclimatic evidence for intensified monsoonal variability. In this convergence of myth and geology, memory and sediment appear to reinforce one another. Beneath compacted Los Terraces lie entire communities frozen at the threshold of disaster. Excavations at multiple sites reveal rammed earth foundations, semi-subterranean dwellings, storage pits, and kiln structures abruptly sealed by sterile silt. The architectural organization suggests planned communities with communal spaces and defensive perimeters. Yet flood layers intrude sharply across these features, filling rooms and truncating walls without signs of gradual abandonment.
To the river god Heaven.
The archaeological signature is unmistakable,
life
waters. Interrupted mid-motion. Domestic assemblages, tools, pottery, charred grains remain where they fell, encapsulated in alluvial deposits that speak of sudden inundation rather than slow decline. The Yellow River was both benefactor and executioner of early urban ambition. Known historically for its shifting channels and immense sediment load, the river's instability has long shaped northern China's cultural landscape. During the 3rd millennium BCE, climatic oscillations likely amplified hydrological extremes, producing episodic flooding of unprecedented magnitude. Paleo-environmental reconstructions derived from lake cores and floodplain profiles indicate phases of intensified precipitation interspersed with drought. Such volatility would have destabilized natural levees, redirecting channels across settled land. The same fertile soils that supported millet agriculture became conduits for destructive overflow. In drowned granaries, we read the quiet testimony of planning undone. Archaeobotanical analysis from sealed storage pits reveals broomcorn millet, foxtail millet, and evidence of diversified subsistence strategies. The presence of surplus grain suggests social coordination and seasonal foresight, yet these carefully stored resources were entombed beneath flood sediments, implying communities had little opportunity for organized evacuation. Some compounds show signs of hurried departure, vessels overturned, hearths still containing ash. The material record captures not only economic sophistication, but also the abruptness of environmental crisis. Every shard of painted pottery becomes a fragment of interrupted continuity. Ceramic typologies associated with late Neolithic cultures displayed distinctive decorative motifs and standardized production techniques. These artifacts reflect regional identity, trade connections, and aesthetic expression. When discovered intact beneath flood deposits, they offer an extraordinary chronological marker. Their preservation within sealed contexts allows precise reconstruction of domestic layout and social practice. In such moments, archaeology transcends abstraction, it becomes a tangible dialogue with lives disrupted by water's force. Could repeated flood catastrophes have catalyzed the emergence of centralized authority? Later historical narratives attribute hydraulic mastery to figures such as Yu the Great, who is traditionally linked to the founding of the Shah dynasty. While the historicity of these accounts remains debated, there is little doubt that large-scale water management became integral to early political organization in the Yellow River Basin. The archaeological evidence of catastrophic flooding provides a plausible environmental backdrop for the development of coordinated labor systems and emergent leadership structures focused on hydraulic control. Sediment layers function as silent chronicles written in mineral script. Through micromorphological analysis, archaeologists differentiate between gradual overbank flooding and high-energy flood surges. Coarse sand lenses, rip-up clasts, and chaotic debris fields signal episodes of rapid inundation. Optically stimulated luminescence dating refines the chronology of these deposits, allowing correlation across multiple sites. What emerges is not a single apocalyptic deluge, but a series of significant flood pulses over several generations. Communities rebuilt atop earlier destruction, only to confront renewed instability. Reconstruction, followed by abandonment, reveals resilience tested to its limits. At certain sites, evidence of rebuilding is clear. Repaired walls, recut ditches, and renewed occupation layers above flood sediment. In others, flood strata mark a final chapter, sealed by wind-blown loess that accumulated over centuries. Such variability underscores the adaptive spectrum within Neolithic societies. Some groups persisted, modifying settlement strategies and perhaps relocating to higher terraces. Others dispersed, contributing to demographic and cultural shifts across northern China. The myth of Nüwa may encode not divine intervention, but communal endurance. In attributing cosmic repair to a creator goddess, later tradition framed disaster within a narrative of restoration. Archaeology, while methodologically distinct, uncovers parallel themes of recovery and adaptation. Flood does not erase cultural memory, it transforms it. Through ritual practice, architectural redesign, and collective labor, communities negotiated a precarious coexistence with an unpredictable river. The symbolic act of mending the sky resonates as a metaphor for social reconstruction. Standing within an excavated compound, one senses the immediacy of a vanished world. The geometry of walls, the placement of hearths, and the distribution of tools reveal structured domestic routines. Flood sediment interrupts these patterns with abrupt finality. Unlike sites abandoned gradually, drowned settlements preserve a compressed temporal horizon. Archaeologists can trace pathways, activity zones, and spatial hierarchies with unusual clarity. Catastrophe, paradoxically, becomes a preservative. These drowned cities challenge narratives of uninterrupted civilizational ascent. The third millennium BCE in the Yellow River Basin appears as a period of experimentation, punctuated by environmental shock. Urban planning, agricultural intensification, and craft specialization advanced alongside climatic volatility. Rather than linear progress, the archaeological record suggests cycles of growth, disruption, and renewal. Each flood episode compelled technological adaptation and perhaps stimulated innovations in water management that would shape later societies. Even today, the Yellow River carries the memory of its ancient transformations. Modern hydrological engineering, levees, dams, diversion systems, reflects millennia of accumulated knowledge about managing sediment and flow. The Neolithic flood horizons remind us that such interventions arose from long histories of trial and catastrophe. By examining drowned settlements of the third millennium BCE, researchers gain insight into the deep temporal roots of environmental governance in China. Ultimately, the so-called Nüwa Flood Cities are less about ruin than about dialogue between humanity and water. Beneath layers of silt lie the foundations of cultural resilience and adaptive ingenuity. The archaeological record reveals communities that planned, prospered, suffered, and reorganized in response to hydrological uncertainty. Whether remembered through the figure of Nüwa or through tales of heroic flood control, these events became woven into the fabric of regional identity. In the stratified soils of the Yellow River Basin, we encounter not only submerged architecture, but the enduring interplay of climate, myth, and human determination, a narrative still unfolding along the river's shifting course.
This is it, the true wealth of the Yellow River, the truth of the flood.
It's unbelievable. It's all right here.